Hi friends, and welcome to the Shits and Gigs podcast, where we keep the vibe high, the humor gets raunchy, and things get spicy when we talk about food. Speaking of food, on tonight's episode of Bath Bombz, where I am connecting here with all of you while I am quite literally in my tub, we are going to be sharing our top spices to have on hand and the best ways to spice up your life using these everyday spices that we always have in our cabinet. One of the biggest things with launching the Not So Average Prep membership is when I launch the recipes, every time I'm making up a recipe or thinking of a new combination of foods and a flavor profile that I really want to encompass, the spices and things that I incorporate are so crucial, because eating a well-balanced diet does not mean bland and boring. You can absolutely enjoy flavors and really just, learn to appreciate flavors and what flavors go well with certain foods. So here we go, top spices to have on hand. First things first, salt and pepper. Who doesn't have these two? I feel like salt and pepper is a very basic two staple things to have in your house. They're great for pretty much anything, keeping meats nice and tasteful. It kind of like salt brings out like the juices in a lot of things. So you can do like salt and pepper on your steak or your chicken or any meat, like I already mentioned. And then fun fact, for things that are typically watery, like things like zucchini and eggplant, before you go ahead and bake those things or do anything with them, if you lay them out on some paper towel and sprinkle some salt, that'll help absorb some of the moisture so they won't be as watery. So 10 out of 10 recommend that tip. And then I gotta share a fun little thing with you guys. Our friend Nick enlightened us to pepper our pizza, which I would never think to do that to pizza. It's usually always some Parmesan and red pepper flakes for me. And then he was over on a pizza Friday night and he put pepper on his pizza and insisted that we do the same. And I will never eat my pizza a different way. So I highly recommend giving that a try. And I also recommend like cracked pepper. For me, it kind of makes all the difference versus just like a shaker black pepper. It kind of it's a wicked different flavor profile than just a shaker pepper. It really can enhance and add to a dish. Number 2, paprika. Talk about adding some smokiness to a dish. I love using paprika for potatoes and meats. The one thing that I always use paprika for is my home fries. My mom used to cook with paprika. And then a little Karen tip here: when your potatoes are nice and tender and they're seasoned to your liking, if you at the very end stir in some ketchup, it like caramelizes around the potato and it is bomb. And then of course you have to go old school with some American cheese slices and slap those babies on top, let it melt, and thank me later. Number 3, cinnamon. I am a total cinna-ho. I put cinnamon in my protein coffee, my oats, my yogurt, buttered toast perhaps. I put cinnamon on anything it makes sense to put cinnamon on. And fun fact, when I was pregnant, it was my special treat once a week to keep my like sweet tooth under control. I had a special day once a week where we would have cinnamon rolls, and that was my special thing that I looked forward to all week long. We did it on Sundays, and man, I miss those things, but I got skulls now, so we're laying off the cinnamon rolls for, unless it's like a special occasion, of course. What are we on? Or I'm just going to go down because I'm going to lose track counting, I'm going to be honest. So instead of just continuing to be confused, we're just going to list them. Cumin, or as my mother pronounces, shout out to Karen again, cumin. We are just entering our smoked meat era, and my mom works at the Dollar Tree. She's very proud to just have a job to keep her busy, and she's super great with customers, and she always is advertising the variable things that the dollar store has that are sometimes very surprising. For example, they had cumin and I think it was cumin and pepper or something like that, pellets for the smoker. And she found this huge bag that was only listed for $1.25, and she was so proud. But when she told me over the phone, she's like, it's cumin and pepper. I was like, Mom, we got to fix this one, because that is just, we don't want you telling people it is that flavor, because people are going to get confused and they're going to laugh at you and you're not going to know why. So cumin. I always say if taco was a smell, it would smell a lot like cumin, because I feel like cumin is a very bold flavor in taco or Mexican dishes. So it's typically, and it has like a very predominant scent. So compared to the other things in the mix, it's not as, or it is one of the more predominant smells when you smell like Mexican dishes or like taco seasoning. Garlic powder, another kind of staple for me up there with salt and pepper. I use that on practically everything. Turmeric is amazing for your body. And I also love it to it not necessarily has like a smoky flavor like paprika, but it has more of an earthy flavor. And something you want to keep in mind though, you do want to typically pair it with black pepper, because it's been found to be best absorbed when partnered with black pepper. So fun little fact there. And it's also really great to take in turmeric, whether it be on your food as a natural spice, or there's a lot of tablets that you can get over the counter. Just make sure it should only have 2 ingredients, turmeric and the black pepper. If you're going to get it over the counter, if it has too many other things, I wouldn't risk buying it. One way that I have incorporated cumin quite often is in scrambled eggs, because I feel like the flavor isn't as intense in the eggs than it is on some other foods. Ginger. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's great for tummy troubles. I absolutely love the sweet ginger tea that Herbalife has. I make my ginger ale tea with it. Ginger, I love pickled ginger on my sushi. What else do I use? I mean, ginger drinks are like really popular and great for your gut. So if you're ever having any tummy troubles, you could do ginger tea, or you can just like steep a little bit of like the ground ginger in like some hot water with lemon. I know I've done that before. Just make sure it's dissolved, because it can be kind of gross if you get a chunk of that in your mouth. Next, we have oregano, the ultimate Italian seasoning in my eyes. We use it for our pizza. We use it for pasta. We do it on top of our garlic bread if we're getting extra spicy up in the house. Definitely just a good, fresh one to have on hand, along with basil also. I didn't have that on my list, but those two together are pretty interchangeable. And then red chili flakes was my final one that I had on my list. It's just great for adding a little spice to your life and any dish. Just be mindful of your like spice tolerance, because it can get real spicy real quick if you overdo it. All right, kids, let's, I almost called you babies. All right, kids, I don't know why I called you kids either. Friends, here we go. Let's wrap this thing up with our weekly mocktail. I'm going to give this one to the mamas this week. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms tuning in. What a crazy day in our house. We had our family over for some brunch. It was nice. We had family Pop-Pop, who was in his 90s, very active. Him and his wife visited from Florida for a couple weeks, and it was their last opportunity to see us, so we hosted everyone over for brunch. Luckily, the weather was beautiful. I hope everyone had a nice day as well for their Mother's Day. And here is your weekly mocktail, Mama Juice. You're going to want the Herbalife lemon tea concentrate, half a teaspoon of that, 2 to 3 capfuls of the cranberry aloe for some tartness, a lemon lime lift-off, keeping it on the more sour side. And then you're going to want half a teaspoon of both the pomegranate and the lavender lemonade drink mix, which is vitamin C boosted. This combo is a nice fruity sour flavor profile. It's also very refreshing, and it'll definitely keep you energized. It has 160 milligrams of herbal-based caffeine. It's also loaded with all the B vitamins, antioxidants from the tea, and biotin, so lots of benefits. You cannot drink one of these teas and feel bad, in my opinion, unless you happen to be maybe allergic to one of the ingredients that you were unaware of. All right, friends, that's all I've got for you this week. Hope you're having a wonderful week, enjoying some sunshine, hopefully, and I'll talk to you soon. Toodles.